Every successful person has a story of failure. No one succeeded at once. Successful entrepreneurs, politicians, artists, writers, scientists, all of them have to overcome the difficult path of failure and finally succeed. Despite this success, many have failed again. They have risen again and succeeded again. All of these successful people have amazing mental strength and confidence. No matter how many failures they face, they never stop working. They never lose faith. They have a lot to learn from these failure stories. There is something to be inspired by each story. No matter what kind of danger or bad situation you face. If you keep in mind the story of the failure of these extraordinary successful people and the story of overcoming failure, never lose courage or confidence. No big goal will seem impossible anymore. Any failure will inspire you to turn around again. So let's find out the failure stories of the top 5 successful people in the world. Abraham Lincoln. He is the 16th President of the United States. He is considered to be the best president of all time in America. His contribution to the emancipation of slaves in America is the greatest. In terms of politics and fame, he is undoubtedly one of the most successful people in the history of the world. But his beginning is with the story of failure. He left his job at the age of 23. At that time, he also lost his first election. At age 29, he lost the election to become a member of the House of Representatives. In 1848, 39-year-old Lincoln was defeated to be elected Commissioner of the General Land Office in Washington. At the age of 49, he lost the election to become a senator. Despite so many failures, he tried not to give up politics. Finally, in 1861, at the age of 52, he was elected President of the United States. Before becoming president, it was almost a failure story. But then he changed history. Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein is one of the most famous and successful scientists in the history of the world. He is so successful that most people think of him as a scientist. He is called one of the best talents in the history of the world. But the German genius, born in 1879, was considered an asshole for a time. He was not good at all. It took him 4 years to learn to speak. He was very raw in his studies. At the age of 16, he failed the entrance examination of the Swiss Federal Polytechnic School in Zurich. While studying at the university, he had such bad results in every subject that he had to think of dropping out more than once. His father's only grief at the time of his death was that this donkey boy could do nothing in life. Einstein remembered his father's words for a long time. Unable to find a job, he was forced to work as an insurance salesman. If there was no work, people would do this kind of job. After 2 years, he got a job in the patent office, where new devices were tested before being patented. But at one point, this man changed the face of the world. With that pulsed brain, he has created several basic formulas in physics. Won the Nobel Prize for his contribution to science. Proved that everything is possible with everyone if you try. Bill Gates. Bezos of Amazon is now the richest man in the world. Many still think that Bill Gates is the richest man in the world. Because, for so long, he was the #1 richest man in the world, someone else has taken his place. That's not what many people know. Bill Gates is one of the biggest contributors to the computer revolution in today's world. Most of the computers in the world still run on his company's software. But did you know that Bill Gates' first project failed miserably? Microsoft co-founder and childhood friend Paul Allen and Bill Gates co-created a machine called Trafo Data that would collect data from traffic counters and deliver it to government traffic engineers. Thus the work had to be done by hand. Seattle's traffic supervisor himself came to the opening of this device. But the device did not work in any way after it was turned on. Such shame and humiliation never came in Gates' life. But they did not stop. Learning from this failure, Bill and Paul later made Microsoft successful. Jack Ma. Everyone knows that this Chinese businessman has risen from a very ordinary position to become one of the richest and most famous people in the world. Developed one of the largest companies in the world today. And the story of the failure of this extraordinarily successful man is like a tragic serial. At the time of admission in the college, he failed the admission test 3 times and got the opportunity for the 4th time. After that, he failed many times while going to work. With 10 exams in the police, 9 people got jobs, Jack was left out. Out of 24 people in KFC, 23 got jobs except Jack. He tried 10 times at Harvard but did not get the chance. After many failures, he finally succeeded in founding Alibaba. Charlie Chaplin. And everyone knows the world-famous actor and director Charlie Chaplin, who was born in 1889. From the beginning of the movie till today, all the movie lovers love and respect him. He is one of the most successful actors and directors in the world. He is called the King of Comedy. Everyone knows these things. So let's find out today some things that not everyone knows. Chaplin's father was a drunkard. He did not do any work. He used to drink alcohol day and night. Chaplin's father left home when he was 2 years old. His mother used to do a job which did not cover the expenses of the family in any way. At age 7, Charlie was forced to move to a workhouse. At that time there was a system for the poor in Britain, where food and bedding were provided in return for hard work. A few days later Charlie came back from there, and at the age of 9 his mother went insane, and his mother had to go to a mental hospital. Chaplin has to go back to the workhouse again because of his mother's mental hospital. A few days later, his father died of liver failure. Then his mother's insanity increased so much that he needed to be kept in the insane asylum forever. Chaplin and his brother Sidney sat down on the road. Day after day, he wanders the streets without eating. At one point, he took to the stage. He strengthened his comedy talent by acting in various stage plays. He later moved to Hollywood and became the best silent actor of all time.